Hello and welcome to Sonic Lore, History of Mobius. In this series, I will be retelling the history of the Archie Sonic universe. Many of you probably want to know why I'm restarting from the beginning. My previous videos were missing some information, and I wanted to organize the series. With that said, I hope everyone enjoys these videos. Long before the universe came to be, there was nothing but emptiness. Then, there was a cosmic power called the Source of All. The Source of All became the base material for everything to birth the Prime Universe and all life that would inhabit it. With the birth of the Prime Universe, other universes soon came into existence. In the Prime Universe, Earth's fate would drastically change everything in the multiverse. In the 21st century, humanity received a visit from an emissary of an aquatic alien species called the Zorda. The emissary came to Earth to negotiate an alliance between the Zorda and humans, but instead of given open arms, it was immediately captured and imprisoned in a research facility. Within the facility, the emissary was dissected by a group of scientists led by a cyberneticist named Ivan Kantobor. The Zorda soon learned about their kin's horrid death, and in their anger, they declared war on Earth. To defend themselves from the impending invasion, the people of Earth came up with the Hidden City Initiative plan. The plan was to hide a fraction of people within small and secluded cities. When the Zorda arrived, they launched a weapon called the Gene Bomb. The Gene Bomb's purpose was to wipe out all of humanity while still preserving nature. After several Gene Bombs struck the Earth, the Zorda left, thinking that their attack was a success. However, unbeknown to the Zorda, the Gene Bomb had some unexpected side effects. The bombs triggered volcanic reactions worldwide, which sent billions of ash and dirt into the atmosphere. Another effect of the bombs was the de-evolution of the humans who were outside of the hidden cities. The de-evolved humans became less intelligent and permanently only had 4 fingers. The bomb's other effect caused the animal and plant life to break down into their most basic components. The catastrophic event went down in history as the First Day of Fury. Thousands of years later, the sun broke through the last remaining bits of ash and dirt, and life began to rise from the primordial soup. The Gene Bombs gave birth to strange plant life and creatures. From then on, Earth was no more, and the reborn planet was later renamed Mobius. Centuries later, life continued evolving on Mobius, and eventually, a group of sentient dinosaur-like creatures called the Mobisaurs were born. The point in Mobius' history was called the Saurian Age. The Mobisaurs lived simple lives until one day, the sky suddenly turned green. Deadly hail rained from above and killed almost every Mobisaur. Only a few survivors witnessed an untold amount of green gems descend from the sky. The gems later became known as the Chaos Emeralds, and their arrival became known as the Coming of the Chaos Emeralds. The 3 remaining Mobisaurs learned how to harness the power of the Chaos Emeralds and tapped into the Chaos Force. The Chaos Force granted the Mobisaurs unimaginable power and insight. It also gave them the ability to move into the corporal world and Chaos Force at will. With their newly acquired power, the Mobisaurs helped guide the course of the world. In time, people started worshipping them, and they became known as the Ancient Walkers. Life on Mobius continued evolving until a group of anthropomorphic animals called Mobians were born. The Mobians were different from their predecessors as they had small traces of human DNA in them. During Mobius' prehistoric era, the echidnas were a race that had evolved and advanced faster than the other Mobians. The echidnas knew that they were vastly more intelligent than the primitive Mobians, so most of them decided to seclude themselves on an island in the kingdom of Mercia. The echidnas built a grand city that became a technological utopia and named it Albion. The echidnas accomplished many great deeds, such as rediscovering science and achieving space travel. Around the same time, the fate of a mammoth named Mogul took a drastic turn. Mammoth Mogul was just like the rest of the primitive Mobians until he stumbled upon a Chaos Emerald. The Chaos Emerald suddenly shot out a bolt of energy when Mogul approached it. Then, it embedded itself into his chest. The Chaos Emerald increased Mogul's intellect, granted him command over chaos energy, and most importantly, immortality. However, unbeknown to Mogul, it also came with a curse. Long before Mogul was born, the Ancient Walkers foresaw Mogul's evil deeds in the future. There was still hope though. The Ancient Walkers had prophesied the birth of the Chosen One, the person destined to stop Mogul and unify the Chaos Emeralds to bring about the Great Harmony. However, until the Chosen One was born, the Ancient Walkers couldn't leave Mogul unchecked. They refused to mess with destiny, so they placed a curse on the emerald that Mogul had found. At each crucial moment in time, Mogul's curse would cause him to make misjudgments, thus ensuring his downfall every time. With his newfound powers, Mogul used them to enslave his fellow Mobians. He ruled over his people as a tyrant for years, but his reign eventually ended when the Mobians became intelligent enough to overthrow him. The Mobians banished Mogul, and peace was restored. During Mogul's reign, a pair of chaos researchers in Albion named Aurora and Enerjack had attracted the Ancient Walkers' attention with their research on the Chaos Force. The Ancient Walkers were so impressed with their research that they decided to share the wonders of the Chaos Force with them. As Aurora and Enerjack transcended into the Chaos Force, Enerjack became corrupted by the power and turned against the Ancient Walkers and his former love. The Ancient Walkers defeated Enerjack, but he was too powerful to destroy completely. Their only option was to spread his spirit into the Chaos Force, where he would be powerless until he could possess an echidna with similar powers to his own, who had given in to their hubris. Aurora went on to become known as the goddess of her people. She attempted to spread her enlightenment to her fellow echidnas in the world through 3 tomes: the Tome of Prophecy, the Tome of Recollections, and the Tome of Mysteries, that later became known as the Book of Myth. Sometime after Mogul's banishment, the Mobians copied the echidnas by creating tribes. Every tribe was made up of individual species that had unique ways of living. The tribes remained separate from other tribes and never shared their knowledge and culture with others. Things stayed the same for countless years, but everything changed during the time of a squirrel named Alexander Acorn. Since his birth, Alexander was always a visionary. One day, he gained an idea when he noticed a group of beavers building a dam. Watching their effort inspired Alexander to unite the tribes and pool their knowledge together to create a utopian society. Alexander was able to convince most of the tribes to help him make his vision come true. However, not everyone joined his side. The echidnas who didn't go to Albion refused Alexander's offer. They sympathized with him, but they feared what would happen if their knowledge fell into wicked hands. After they said their farewells, they left to join the rest of their people in Albion. His second attempt was with the Overlanders. They were the descendants of the people who had mutated due to the gene bombs. The Overlanders' hostile and aggressive nature made it too risky for them to join Alexander's society. Once everything was ready, Alexander and his people began building the city of Mobitropolis. Meanwhile, the Overlanders started to evolve rapidly, and they created their own city, military, and government. After Alexander and everyone finished building Mobitropolis, the people named him their king, and the Kingdom of Acorn was born. Alexander had achieved the utopian society that he had envisioned long ago, but the peace was soon shattered with a bang. That's it for this part of History of Mobius. If you want to find out what happened to Mogul and the echidnas, that's another separate video. If you want to find out what happened after this, well, stick with me and you'll find out. Thank you.